Did you know you can get visible abs in just 6 weeks without doing a single crash diet or giving up on your favourite foods? Well, today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I did it and how you can too. In order to lose weight, we all know that we need to burn more calories than we consume on a daily basis. Now, to figure out how many calories you should be consuming in order to lose weight, you first need to work out your maintenance calories. And a super quick and easy way to do this is to take your current body weight in pounds and multiply it by one of the following. Usually, most people will fall between the moderate to mild activity range. So using 14 to 15 as your multiplier will probably give you the most accurate gauge of your maintenance calories. The next thing you need to do is decide how quickly you want to lose weight and roughly how long you want to do it for. Losing 1 to 1.5 pounds every single week seems to be the most sustainable for most people because it gives you a little bit of flexibility and prevents you from burning out in the long run. And setting up your actual deficit to lose weight is really easy. If you want to lose a pound a week, all you need to do is subtract 500 calories from your daily maintenance intake. And this is because losing 1 pound of fat a week roughly equates to eating 3,500 calories less on a weekly basis. So to figure out how much less you need to eat each day, you just take 3,500 and divide that by 7. And then if you want to lose 2 pounds a week, you're going to be subtracting 1,000 calories daily. Now, subtracting 1,000 calories from food does sound extreme and is not something I would recommend pulling directly from food unless your intake is high enough for that to make sense. But this is where cardio comes in. And although you do not need cardio in order to lose weight, it can be used as a super effective tool in cases like this, where we can use cardio to burn extra calories that we would otherwise have to pull from food in order to get into our deficit. Say you need to be in a 500 calorie deficit to lose a pound a week. You could start by just pulling 250 calories from your food and then trying to burn an additional 250 calories while exercising. And burning 250 calories probably does sound like a lot, but that's really only 30 minutes of moderate cycling or around 7,000 daily steps, which is attainable for a lot of people. So say you did want to lose 2 pounds a week and did need to reach a 1,000 calorie deficit. You could just start by pulling 500 calories from your food intake and then do 7,000 steps a day and your 30 minutes of moderate daily cardio. But this is quite a lot of cardio to get in on a daily basis, especially if you have a busy life or you have to fit your fitness in around your family or your work. Which means for most people, a 1 to 1.5 pound weekly weight loss makes more sense because it is much more maintainable and sustainable in your current life. But one of the biggest mistakes I see online when people try and get visible abs is they diet, they get down to a body fat percentage where in theory you should be able to see their abs, but their abs are not defined like they thought they would be. And that is because they have seriously neglected their ab training. And although eating in a deficit will help you see abs, it is how you train them while you are eating in your deficit that is going to determine how they look once you're at a low enough body fat percentage for them to be revealed. When I talk about ab training, I am not talking about the influencer ab workouts you see online. Most of those are just cardio circuits and they aren't training your abs in a way that will actually make them grow. You should be training your abs like any other muscle group, progressively overloading them and taking them to, if not very close to, failure. And the best way to go about training your abs and growing them as much as possible is doing weighted ab exercises. This way you can actually track progressive overload on the movement and give your muscle the stimulus that it needs to adapt and grow. And there are two main movement patterns that you should follow in order to grow your upper and your lower abs to get that six-pack look. Firstly, we have the upper abs, which are grown through movements that bring the shoulders down towards your hips. And the best exercise for this would be some form of weighted crunch. Personally, I like to do weighted V-ups for these. This is essentially a move where you start with your legs and arms fully extended on a mat and then ends with your legs and arms reaching toward one another in the center of your body. To really activate your abs on this one and not make it a hip movement, I want you to really think about tucking your pelvis in at the starting point of the movement and pinning your back to the mat. And after crunching your legs and arms up to meet each other in the center of your body, when you reach that extended position back at the bottom, I only want you to go as far down as you can still feel your core engaged. Keeping your core engaged throughout this entire movement is going to be what's most important when training your abs, and will make sure that you're training your abs to failure, not your hip flexors or your legs. Next, we have our lower abs, and to grow these, we're going to be doing movements that brings the hips up to the shoulders. And two great exercises for this are the reverse leg crunch or, of course, the hanging hanging leg raise. Now, the hanging leg raise is one of those movements that everyone gets wrong when they first started. When I first started doing my hanging leg raises, I could only ever feel them in my hips, and they made me feel very crunchy. And this was mainly because I was just swinging my legs up in the movement, right? I wasn't focusing on engaging my core at all and making it a core movement. I just thought, gotta get my legs up as high as possible and call it a day. So to do this right, you're gonna want to think about pinning your back to the back support and pulling your knees up to your chest and slowly lowering them back down. Your main focus here should be moving your legs from your core. And a good cue for this is to think about showing your butt to the front of the room. This will make sure that you're actually crunching your abs in and up and not just swinging your legs forward. This one is kind of hard to get right, but when you do get it right, it is an absolute game changer for your entire abs. And I would recommend doing each of these exercises 2 to 3 times a week and trying to get to failure within the 10 to 20 rep range. So let's just say you've done all of these steps and now you finally have the six-pack you have always dreamed of. But how do we maintain it? Here comes our post-diet plan. And no, I am not talking about a reverse diet. What you need to do once you've reached your goal physique is jump straight to your body's new maintenance calories. Now you can do this by using an online maintenance calculator and taking your new weight and putting that into the calculator, and it will spit out a rough estimation of your current maintenance calories, or by taking your new weight and dividing that by your old weight and then using the number you get from that as a multiplier to find your new maintenance. Now this does sound super confusing, but let me break it down a little bit for you. So say you're around 140 pounds at the start of your diet and maintain that weight on 2,200 calories. And now you're 120 pounds and can maintain that at around 1,700 calories. Now the calories needed to maintain your new weight of 120 pounds are not the end of your diet calories, because you were still losing weight on those calories, so your body can't maintain while eating them. So to get a rough estimation of your new body weight's maintenance calories, you need to take your new weight divided by your old weight and then multiply that by your old maintenance calories. In the example that I just gave, where I was now 120 pounds compared to my 140 pounds at the start of my diet, my new maintenance calories would be roughly 1,900. And to get to your new maintenance, you're not going to jump there right away. You're actually going to start somewhere in between the end of your diet calories and your new calculated maintenance. The reason that we're not going to jump right up to this new maintenance is because when you come straight out of a dieting phase, your metabolism runs just a little bit slower and your NEAT is also quite a bit lower. And that's because your body is still trying to conserve a little bit of energy and won't quite be burning our new maintenance just yet. So after you've picked a rough middle in between your new maintenance and your diet calories, you're going to eat at this number for around a week or 2 and then see how your body responds to eating at that calorie number. If your body weight jumps up pretty aggressively after 2 weeks of eating at this number, don't worry if it does a little bit of a jump in week 1, because most of that's just going to be water weight, which will eventually come back down. But if it jumps up after week 2, you'll know you're eating slightly too much to maintain your new weight. If you continue to lose weight, feel free to then add a little bit more calories to bring you closer to your new calculated maintenance number, and then continue to eat at that new number and monitor how your body responds to that. You're basically going to be rinsing and repeating this entire process and monitoring how your body responds and how you're responding to training until you're near your new maintenance that we calculated at the start. And with all of this being said, maintaining a six-pack all year round isn't actually a sustainable goal for most people, including myself. Some of us genetically just hold more fat around our midsection, which means that in order to see abs there, we'd need to be at a body fat percentage that is lower than someone who doesn't hold weight around that section. And lower body fat percentages can be specifically unhealthy for many women. So while having abs can be enjoyable and maintainable for a short period of time, they definitely aren't worth running your body into the ground for. But if you guys found this video helpful and want to learn more about fat loss, my fat loss guide is now available, where I talk about everything that I went through in this video and a lot more regarding fat loss and how to maintain it. So for those who are interested, I will leave a link for that in the top link of my description. So please let me know below what your fitness goals are for summer, abs or no abs. Don't forget to like and subscribe, let me know what you want to see next, and hopefully I will catch you guys in my next one.